every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag a flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag a flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Strap me in, fuel me with untamed speed. Data in the storm, all the rush I need. Glitches on the edge, chaos in the stream. Sim racing paradise, unraveling the sea. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag a flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Flashing lights in the dark baritone hum. Engines scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire. Chasing glory through the chaos of desire. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag a flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. Nerd TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag a flag, every moment extreme. Nerd TV, we're living the dream.
Clenched tight, your TV lights up the endless night.
Fight to fight, we live the speed. No TV feeds our endless need. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Heartbeats pounding, engines climb. Let's broadcast on every motion.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for another broadcast on a Thursday, this time live from the simulated Daytona International Speedway for the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Duels at Daytona. Two events, 30 laps each. The Extra Life Duels is underway here tonight to kick off the season opener for the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Series. And here's the weather on track: 73 degrees in the skies. Track temp not too much higher at 77. 9-mile-an-hour winds coming out of the northeast, partly cloudy. You see the number of six total tires. Don't and just ignore that. It's only 30 laps in these duels, so they're not going to touch that number at all. And only two green-white checkered attempts. Then after this first 30 lap event, we're going to take a short intermission, kick it over to the second one, and then be back for that one. So there's the quick rundown. We'll go over that and more in detail here. But first, going to introduce the three people doing it here tonight. Myself, Jeremy Stanley, a.k.a. Jay Swifty on the internet. Jason Rockefeller to my right-hand side, and Dustin Loxton pressing the buttons, flying the drones, and everything else in between with the graphics. And Jason, it is a Thursday, not a Tuesday. I don't feel right now, but it will feel right later on.
Yeah, and good evening. It's gonna feel a little iffy, obviously, for us for the first few weeks. I know I won't be here next week, but I'll be here for the following races afterwards. But man, what a great Thursday evening here to broadcast some Daytona dual races for the brand new league for us here on Nerd TV. So thank you very much to the Smoky Mountain Sim Series for letting us call this broadcast, this race, the races in general throughout the entire year. I know that they got a lot on deck. I know it's a brand new league. It should be really fun to call for the rest of the season, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It looks like we have like 22 entries. There's 11 for this race, and then 11 for the second duels. That's going to be kicking off shortly after this one's over. So it's going to be kind of cool. They already qualified, right? So usually we have a qualifying session where we go over stuff, but we're going straight into it, and it looks like there's currently 10 and a half minutes left in this session. Not sure if they're going to kick it over a little bit ahead of time or not. So we're just kind of talking about it for 10 minutes, and I got word top of the hour. So 2 minutes technically left, and we should see the admins here for the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Series just bump it over. So 2 minutes to talk about it, man, before we go right to green flag racing for these 30 laps. All new names to you two. I know I've personally met one of these guys at Daytona. It was either last year or the year before in real life, Blake Tradwick, driver of the 56. But outside of that, all these names to me are basically brand new, except for Brandon or Braxton Deweese. We've called him before. At least I've raced with him before. So not too sure how this is going to go, man. New league for us, new names, new cars. This is the first next gen or Gen 7, if you want to call it that, that I think we have called whatever. If not, it's been a long time. So
It's been a long
it should be
time,
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, the Daytona duels, they always put on some sort of show. I know usually there's a lot more cars in a real life field for duels or most leagues, but obviously you mentioned it, Jeremy, only about what, like around like 22 roughly cars registered or at least entered in for the duels. I know a majority of these guys could not make it for tonight due to personal related issues and stuff like that, but they will be here obviously next week for the first race of the season at Daytona. So this first session should be really interesting. I think for the guys in the second session, they're going to really study and watch this race because, again, they're going to be right after our intermission after this first one. So you're really going to have to learn a lot from this first duel to see, how these cars react in traffic. And there's not a lot of them. So if you really think about it, this is no less than like driving with your buddies on a Saturday night and having a couple beers, saying, "Hey, let's get on and do a hosted session." That's what this is in a sense, except they're only driving for 30 laps. Obviously, I know the pole sitter for obviously for the race next week. Braxton Deweese, he's going to be on the pole here tonight for the first duel. He's already got the front row locked out alongside Steve Harden in the 27, who will be the pole sitter for duel number 2. So this is an opportunity to see how you can really drive up towards the front of this field, obviously, and get a feel for how it's going to be next week, obviously, but with a lot more cars next week than what you have tonight in your dual race.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it. It has been 2 years since we've called a Gen 7 Cup car, and Yeah, this will give us a decent feel. I know as the pack gets bigger, things aerodynamically change a little bit, but we're going to get a sense of the side draft, where you can press the bumpers, where you can't press them, and even though it's kind of a rounded bumper in real life, you get a little more leeway on that when it comes to the flat hit box on iRacing. But at the same token, netcode is a huge thing, and so you don't want to do that in the corners, especially. You don't want to wreck someone's night out. It is a duel, so you can get away with a little bit more, right? But we'll see how that happens over the first 30 laps of the season. YouTube's guys, we got 23 viewing right now, so I appreciate y'all joining in. Kelsey Slavin says Sam Lawson's a bum, but I hope he wins. So I don't know if you're gonna call out the winner by calling him a bum. And then you got Let's Go Tosh. That is Natasha. I've already kind of forgot that, Jason. Badoon? I
Bo Duane, I believe it
Bo
is.
Dwayne. There
Yeah,
we go, Bo
it's gonna
Dwayne.
it's
Thank
gonna
you.
keep it's gonna take us a little bit of time to get
I
used to a
think
lot of these names.
100%. So Natasha Beaudoin is out there. She is in the car 16. Then you got Weezer 8 saying for the Slig. Let's go number 8 for the Three Dips Ice Cream Shop. Braxton Deweese 44. Doesn't wash his feet. Okay, that's kind of weird. These guys are some creatures out here on this YouTube chat. You got Devin White shouting out, and you got Race Control, aka Nerdy Sports Driver Steve, out there chit chatting. So 29 viewers actually.
Yeah,
29
for a
before the
dual
green
race.
flag of a dual race. I love you guys. Come
Yeah,
on, let's keep it up.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we're
And
doing
it
it.
should be fun.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Sorry to cut you off there. I wanted to shout out before we do green flag and anything, as they still have not kicked it over. We're live on 3 platforms. So we got new faces. So if you enjoy this product here on YouTube, we also are live on Twitch right now, and we're also live on Facebook right now. So like, follow, subscribe, all that fun jazz on all 3 platforms. We would greatly appreciate that. It'd help our channels out, especially on the Twitch side. If we could just pick up a couple viewers, 2 or 3 per broadcast, that'd be fantastic. But still waiting for them to bring it to race, Jason.
Yeah, and if obviously for most of these, people at home watching this is probably your first time watching a Nerd TV broadcast. A lot of the time we just like to have fun up here. We'd like to take what we're doing seriously, but at the same time we like to have a lot of fun. We've been doing this now together, or at least the 3 of us in this group have been doing this now for a little over 2 years. I had a little hiatus, just came back recently about a month or so ago. But it should be really fun. We really hope you guys enjoy the product that you're watching at home. Dustin's cooked up some great graphics for 2026. Jeremy, I know you had a huge influence with those. I know Steve, everybody else who was involved as well. So it really should be fun, obviously, for us coming up here this season.
I had zero influence. That was all Dustin's work. He just downloaded a file and changed some colors, and here we are. I'm just kidding. That's not what happened. Yeah, Dustin's put a huge amount of work into the off season. I had some influence, yes. I will take some credit, but mainly goes to him, and he's doing the behind the scenes stuff. He's got this nice, beautiful box with all the different stuff we'll kind of show you along the way, not just tonight, but throughout the entire season. And we're just, it looks like admins are giving final call outs to see who's here, making sure all the drivers are live before they kick it over, because it goes right to race. There's no qualifying time, so they're doing that now. So any minute expected to kick over. 30 laps. Cautions are out like normal. Caution laps will count like normal. It's just going to be a shortened race. And there it is, Jason. Checkered flag in the session is officially over. So these boys are going gridding here shortly.
Yeah, and this should be fun. I mean, obviously, it's the duel at Daytona. This is the pregame for the Daytona 500 for, in real life. And obviously, for these sim guys, it's the same thing. You get a feel for your car, you get a feel for everybody around you. I think the biggest thing for these drivers here tonight in both duel races is to figure out and possibly find at least one person to draft with, I think, coming up next week, because obviously with these cars, if you don't have a lot of help in the draft with these Gen 7 cars, you're going to go absolutely nowhere. So help is going to be the key here tonight if you want to find yourself either in victory lane or advancing your spot further for next week's starting lineup.
All right, guys, we're going live, full screen, getting our cameras off, as we're going to go over the grid here for race number 1, duel number 1 of the season. Braxton DeWeese, P1. Lucas Whitehead starts in second for row 1. Row 2, you're going to find Blake Treadwick in P3, Brandon Biddy, P4. And row number 3, you're going to find the one car of Dana Ryan, P6, Michael Hayden, and car 30. Row number 4 and 7th, Jeremiah Nelson. And 8th place, Samuel Lawson, car 44. Row 5, Natasha Bedoin in 16, and the number 5 of Bill Hagan. And then the last starting row, David Mayberry, P11, Jeffrey Goodpaster. And that's it. 12 entries. I thought we had 11. We're going 12. We're going to take one pace lap around this thing. And we're going to go 30 laps, hopefully all green flag. And it is Daytona season, Jason. It is the month of February. It is everything Daytona.
Yeah, Jeremy, and obviously, even though this is just the sim, man, you always feel some sort of excitement every time you come to Daytona, no matter if it's real life, the sim, or any sort of video game. So much history here over the last handful of years, ever since this track opened back in 1959. You have so many iconic moments, from Superbikes all the way to Formula One testing here, to all the great Daytona 500s, the Rolex 24 Hours, the kart races in the infield. This track has so much history to it, and if you want to win here next week, obviously, you're going to have to dial yourself in for tonight and figure out what your car is capable of and what you are capable of here behind the wheel. Obviously, with only 12 drivers, I think this is going to be a great testing session for these drivers in both duels here tonight.
You guys are in for a treat. Hopefully it's going to be a great one here. We're going to learn a lot. New drivers, haven't seen this car on track in a couple of years. I personally not even have drove this car in 2025. And pace car is down. And we're going to get to the restart box. 3, 2, 1. Green flag for the first time this season is out. And we're underway.
And already down out of the tri-oval, flying down the front straightaway. All these guys are going to start to kind of line up towards each other's bumpers. Right now, Lucas Whitehead, he surges ahead with Brandon Biddy back behind him on the outside lane. Biddy gets right to the rear bumper of that 33. Going to give him a nice little push. Other cars lining up on the top side. And Jeremy, we had a Talladega race for us on Tuesday the other day, and we talked about how the top was key, and sure enough, it's going, because here comes Brandon Biddy with a run to the bottom of Lucas Whitehead for the lead.
Man, I'm watching the zoomed out view right now. This outside is cooking. 2 cars cleared, 3rd and 4th side by side, as the 33 and 30 both stay on the top end of the track through 3 and 4. Going to close out lap number 1 with a freight train on the outside. Almost 3 cars cleared on the top here, as Whitehead in the 33 leads lap number 1.
And Whitehead leading the surge up on the outside lane. Going to have help from Michael Hayden right behind him. Samuel Lawson as well on the 44 machine back there as well. Everybody's still double wide for the time being. And Jeremy, thing to note, like we were just talking during pre-race before we went live, new Chevrolet ZL1 bodies are out for these Camaros on iRacing. How is that going to play a factor here with these new front bumpers here tonight at Daytona?
Well, I know graphically speaking, they're a little misaligned there with the new template that came out. So I don't know if everyone's got their templates updated, but it looks like a couple of them are misaligned. But it should be, in theory, the same hitbox and basically the same contact points. It's just an updated visual shell of these new, if you want to call it, Camaro ZL1s. As we're getting through turn 1 and turn 2 on lap number 3. We got 3 cars cleared on the outside. The 21 might do such. Jeremiah Nelson does do it. 4 cars cleared on the top. And, man, this is going to be an early sign that, hey, the top side is the way to go. But how do you pass when the best line is on the top?
Yeah, and that's going to be the thing, obviously. If you're going to have a run on the outside and you want to move down to the bottom, you best well pray that that inside lane is going to have a run with you to where you could surge ahead, not stall them out. But not only just stall them out, you don't want to lose so much track position, because that's so common here at these super speedway derbies that guys will get out of line, try to move down to the bottom, and they'll usually either get shuffled to the back and get put in the sucker hole, or they'll just stall out that line, whether it be inside or top. But for now, for the time being, this outside lane, whoa, a little bit squirrely back there. That would be, I believe, and we're still getting used to the numbers and stuff, obviously. That looks to be the number 60 machine. That would be Jeffrey Goodpaster. Got a little bit of a shot, I believe, from Natasha in that number 16 machine. And that's the thing about pushing here at Daytona 2. As long with the top side, you got to be careful with that front bumper because the outside lane, as fast as it is, it can wreak havoc very hurry.
6 cars cleared on the outside, and there goes Natasha to the inside, trying to get anything going possible as they get to the exit of the start-finish line tri-oval. Lap number 5 currently underway. Highline Fest still showing its way, and I've seen a lot of cars, Jason. They are moving left and right. I can't tell if that's the 10-mile-an-hour wind that's crossing over this Florida track or if it's just the aerodynamics of these Gen 7 cars.
Yeah, well, let's see. I believe we got that weather. There you go. Dustin knows what I want. That wind's moving at the northeast from 7 miles an hour. So it's pushing a little bit, down on the back straightaway with these guys. So it can create, some moments where these cars will slip and slide around. I mean, at least the wind is not drastically in effect. It's definitely going to have a little bit of effect, but with these temperatures continuing to cool down here tonight and the sun setting more, it's just going to create more and more grip for these cars to move around, and that's why you're probably going to see so many guys getting squirrely because they're going to feel more and more comfortable pushing one another and trying to make moves.
All right, now as majority of the field is single file, we should see a little of that left to right calm down. You see the bubbles behind these cars. If we kind of look through the pack here, we're going to see a lot of space between each bumper, and that's not necessarily due to the drivers just lifting. Especially the front 2 cars, there's going to be about a half a car length at all times right now between the 33 and the 30. These Gen 7 cars have such a massive bubble as Dustin goes boozy tipsy cam over the field here at Daytona International Speedway on the iRacing service. Every single car on the outside here to start off lap number 7. Lucas Whitehead leading the first 6 as we continue to fly through. Nice little quick 180 on Dustin's end, and looking at the Mustang there, driven by Blake Tradwick.
The Mustang, I really like that one. That's a very clever name there, Mr. Jeremy Stanley. And
That's
something
his.
too. Yeah, the Mustang. And there we go. There's a run I love to see. And that's what I was just going to mention, Jeremy. If I'm one of these guys, I'm sorry. I don't care if there's only 12 cars and everybody's like, oh, well, there's only 12 cars. Let's keep it together. Nah. This is the perfect opportunity for you as a driver to go out here tonight and learn what your car, what the draft, and what yourself is capable of. And like I said, Jeremy, when they were gridding up under the pace lap, find a dancing partner. It's so important to find somebody that could possibly be with you not only tonight, but going into next week for the big race for the start of the season. So very, very important. And look at the amount of momentum that inside lane is carrying. And Blake Tradwick is going all the way to the front of the field in that number 56. He's got help right behind him from David Mayerberry. And also here comes Natasha Beaudoin in that 16 machine.
And Blake with the move of the race early on lap number 8. Just drops it to the bottom, hammer down, and goes from like 5th place to 1st and then some. And the high side all of a sudden gets deleted as all the field recognizes the momentum shifted to the bottom. They move down with it, and they're going to leave the 33, 30, and 44 that have been running up front all night long. Now they're going to have to figure out how to get back to where they were 8 laps ago. Back to the pack you go. Now all of a sudden, single file on the inside lane as we're halfway done with lap number 9.
And now that these guys are in the back, Jeremy, this is, again, the perfect opportunity for them to figure out how their cars are going to react deep, at least in the middle of the field. Because when you look at it, yes, obviously more than half the field is not in this race. But considering the fact of based on numbers in this field, you have 12 cars. That's about mid-pack right there if you were to think about being double wide or so, maybe even back of the pack. So this is a perfect opportunity for them to try to learn what their car does in the draft, what they know to do and what they know not to do going into next week. So if I'm them, I would probably start pulling out a line, give each other pushes, start, pulling back guys on that right rear quarter panel. The side draft is so strong with these super speedway cars, especially with this package. So it's a great learning opportunity here for these last 21 laps.
Yeah, as we're almost completed 33% of this race here. One car dips to the outside, maybe just going to the back of the field as Lucas Whitehead, the 44 as well of Samuel Lawson and Michael Hayden continue just to rest back, not trying to progress any further forward, or maybe they're even struggling. The 44 team was actually giving the 33 Whitehead a nice little shove there on the front straightaway. Little two-car tandem, if you will. They're going to leave Mr. Hayden in the 30. Oh, here we go. A little tandem action here. They're going to go to the top. They're going to pass 2 cars on the outside. And 2-car tandeming and the Gen 7s is a thing. They are cooking. 3 cars past as you get to the back straightaway. 1 jumps up to try to help him. That's going to be the 21, Jeremiah Nelson. Going to try to help lead the charge, but it indeed is going to probably stall out momentarily to get to turn 3, and they're going to have to get that momentum boosted once more.
I think they're going to have a huge run right here, Jeremy, off turn 4. They're all hooked up pretty well together, and remember, because of that iRacing update that happened just a little while ago, that outside lane in super speedways really shows. You talked to me about it at Talladega on Tuesday when we called the OTSS Select Series, that the outside lane really moved. We didn't see much of it, but boy, oh boy, are we seeing it here tonight in the duels in the first 11 laps. Man, these guys are racy. Jeremy, I think this might be the raciest I've probably ever seen Daytona, and hell, we only got 12 cars out here.
Yeah, fantastic start to start the season here as we got 34 viewers on YouTube, 4 viewers on Twitch. Appreciate you guys for popping in on multiple platforms to watch this opening race of the 2026 season for Smoky Mountain Sim Racing. And this is a fun thriller to start the thing off side by side, the whole field here down the line, drag race to see if it's going to be the 21 of Jeremiah Nelson. He barely outdoes the 29 there of David Mayberry by just a fender to complete lap 12.
And man, oh man, you got to be really careful right there. If you were that number 25 machine, or I believe that's 33, I want to say, 29 machine, yeah, 29 machine of David Mayberry, you got to be really careful. Down the front straightaway there, he went very, very high, trying to pull back to 21. A lot of drivers nearly made contact with each other, but he's got a couple of good pushers back behind him. He's got Blake Trowick and also Natasha Bedouin there in the 16 machine. But that 21 has really propelled that outside lane further, but for the time being, that 33 of Lucas Whitehead all over the rear bumper of him off turn 4 as we ride on board the number 16 of Natasha Bedouin there, who started 9th all the way up to 3rd currently here with 17 to go.
As the inside has taken a little more momentum here, is little blinky action from my end as you get the turn number 1, the top 3 single filed out there. Jeremiah's gonna have to try to get Lucas to push him strong down the back straightaway here. Maybe get a 3-car tandem if you can to propel the outside out once more, but the strength are in numbers on the inside lane. 3 cars tandeming on the bottom, and they're going to clear the 21. 4 cars now single file as the 5 is also going to clear. That's going to be the 5 of Bill Hagan. Oh, he tries to slide up in front of the 21. Does not get him cleared. That could have been our first caution when he finally gets him down. Now here's the 1 of Dana Wright as well. And just like that, Jason, we can't figure this out. It was high side, now bottom, the high side again, and then these guys are shifting around real quick.
I don't know if they all just heard my thoughts subconsciously in my head, but ever since I said riding around was not going to do anything, you weren't going to learn much, man, these guys and gals, they have really stepped it up. They are getting racy, and it's just a dual race, 30 laps, but we're already about to be halfway. Oh, that was going to be tight right there. The 1 of Dana Ryan nearly got into the back of Bill Hagan, who almost came down. Now Bill Hagan will move to the outside, propels Dana Ryan in the 1 machine to the outside, and now it looks like Bill Hagan might stall out that outside lane, trying to get in line. They're going to be 3 wide nearly at the line. A little bit of contact.
That was so close there, right at the halfway mark of this race number 1, duel number 1 here for the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing here. And now they've gone all back to single file for the most part there. Time to calm it down once more, get on that radio, find your partners, and it is go time for you guys that are in the back here. We've seen how quick we can get the cars from the back to the front multiple times, so got to get it going once more, cool off the engines, make another shot at it. They're starting to brew up 3 cars on the top, nose to tail, but the inside still holds the momentum here as they're going to complete lap 16 with the 29 of David Mayberry still leading the charge.
Yeah, David Mayberry has been doing a great job in the 29 machine on that bottom. I think if I've really had to circle anybody for the time being, though, I want to say it's going to be Blake Trowick, because he has been really strong pushing that 29 machine, but has really been everywhere throughout the entire night so far, but primarily at the front of this field. And if there's another driver who I feel like has the car that could probably win, it's that 33 of Lucas Whitehead. Lucas was up at the front leading the charge with the outside lane. He's got the 30 machine of Michael Hyden in front of him, who is his teammate for Smoky Mountain Motorsports. So these two drivers know how to push each other. They have Samuel Lawson right in front of them as well. If they could just get maybe a couple more cars up to the top side here, I think they'll go right back to the front.
Yeah, right now they're definitely stalled out there, even with them nose to tail, so they're going to need a little more assistance. Maybe shuffle the 44 to the back with the cooler engine and help the 30 and 33 propel forward here. Still got plenty of time. 13 laps remaining in duel number 1 for the Extra Life Duels at Daytona. David Mayberry still leading it as the outside gains a 4th member here on the top. And we're going to see how much that helps them. I think they're going to need a few more. The inside still maintaining position. No reason to charge right now. They go 3 wide. They're going to split the 60 down the middle.
Really surprised that they did that, because it's not like he was slowing down a ton when he dropped out of the bottom side and went to the top. That was a really questionable call on my end. And honestly, the 30 and the 44 are not hooked up well together. They are just sliding across each other's rear and front bumpers. The 30 machine is just really leaning on that 44, I think, a little too much, Jeremy. He needs to get himself in check. Make sure he squares up his front with the rear of that 44 of Lawson, because if you're just going to push on that right rear, not only will you not go anywhere, you risk hooking a driver right into the wall and causing an accident here. And we got only 12 laps to go, so they better figure out something, and they better figure out something quick.
Yeah, we've seen a couple cars go from the back to the front in 2 or 3 laps, but it didn't hold. So they either got to wait their time, or they got to, get there, get to the inside, do what they got to do. It's going to be tricky, very tricky to go from the back to the front and maintain, it seems like, since the inside has the momentum and it has not let go. There we go. We got all but one now to the inside lane. They're going to leave the 44 out to dry, puts him last in pack. He's got the coolest engine. Maybe he can assist somebody else in the charge to the front. 3 more to the top now. They kind of just rotated a little bit. Inside still holds into turn number 3. Up here comes the pole sitter of tonight's event, car number 8, Braxton Deweese. Oh, he's got the number 1 Dane O'Ryan with him, and now they got a almost 50-50 split as the outside is starting to pick up some more momentum.
Yeah, they stacked up a little bit there coming off turn 4, but here comes a 21. Jeremiah Nelson led that outside lane, just about less than 10 laps to go. He'll lead the charge up on the outside. Now my thought is anybody in that top 4 on the bottom going to jump up when that 21 gets to them? I think if there's one driver who's probably looking really antsy, it's Natasha Bedouin. She has been really all over the back of Blake Trowick so far all night long. Blake's doing a really good job to not push David Mayberry too much. And as I say that, they nearly come together right there. Oh, we got 3 wide in the back. That could have been a massive wreck. And that was the 60 of Jeffrey Goodpasser getting split in the middle and sent to the bottom there as they come down this time. 9 laps to go. Still David Mayberry out front here, Jeremy. 10 to go, now 9 to go this time.
Lucas Whitehead and the 21 of Jeremiah Nelson made some decent contact into turn 3 there. I thought for a moment that was going to be our first caution. Still 0 cautions out. Lap 22 underway. 9 laps remaining. David Mayberry still leading it with Blake in second place. Natasha jumps to the top. She's going to have a follower with her. Now it's a direct 50-50 split here. We go 3 wide down the back here as the 44 moves up. He's going to have nobody to help him. That should shuffle him back. Possibly squeezing Natasha 3 wide. Contact inside the top 5. Things are getting dicey.
I don't know why Lawson went to the outside. He is a lone soldier out there, and he's going to go all the way to the back of this field. And shout out to Natasha being able to block 2 lanes at once. You don't see that work out with this Gen 7 aero package at Daytona very much anymore, Jeremy. But, man, these cars can take a push if they get hit in the rear. But if you get hit in the wrong spot, wrong place, wrong time, you can go around. But Natasha, great job Thought she was going to go to the outside beforehand, and sure enough, I called it. But here we go. Here comes Blake Trowick. He'll move to the outside lane. 2 by 2 deep throughout the field. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty here at Daytona, Jeremy.
Samuel Lawson trying to go 3 wide once more. The 8 as well. Thought he was going to help him for a moment. Braxton brings it back to the middle lane there. Going to shuffle the 44 back, possibly to the rear. As 56, Blake Trowick is going to lead his first lap. Natasha right behind him. Then you got the number 2 of Brandon Biddy. 5 on the top here. 3 wide mid-pack as we got 7 laps remaining. Tons of racing still to be had.
Nearly went 4 wide there out of the tri-oval, and everybody is getting antsy. We're seeing sparks flying, drivers slipping and sliding. Lawson still hanging in tough. Gonna make it 3 wide. He'll have help there from the pole sitter of Braxton DeWeese to the outside. They're 3 wide here, back about 4th or 5th row deep, but can they make it work? The 2's debating on going to the top side. That's Brandon Biddy in that number 2 Ford Mustang Dark Horse, but at the bottom of the racetrack, it's all David Mayberry out front while the field starts to break apart in the back of the field. 6 laps to go, this time from the World Center of Racing.
Mayberry back to the point, leading probably the most laps so far here this evening. We're still 3 wide as Natasha's in the middle. The number 1's going to get a good slingshot here. Mr. Dana Ryan puts himself now in P5 on the inside, 5 single file. Then we have 2 wide, then 3 wide at the tail end of the field. A lot of left to right motion halfway down the back. Contact had, no wreck still, as we're coming up to 5 laps to go this time around.
That could have been massive down the back straightaway. They were about 4 wide. We had drivers trying to avoid a wreck right there. That was the 30 of Michael Hyden. And now he goes from the bottom. He'll move to the top. Whoa, here comes the 2 machine. Almost contact with the 21 of Nelson. And that's the 60 of Goodpaster going to the outside to join forces with that 21 Ford machine. Manufacturer battle at the front, but Toyota looking to bring it all home. David Mayberry still out front. Oh, more contact there. Oh, he gets sideways. What a save by the 60 machine of Goodpaster, but he gets shoved all the way out of lane, and he's headed to the back, down the back straightaway.
This is getting really wild, and we're still not done yet. 4.5 laps remaining here at Daytona for Extra Life Duel number 1. And the inside temporarily has a calm moment here on the front half of the field. Still led by the 29. Now he's got new pusher Bill Hagan, P2, started all the way back in 10th place. Here we are with 4 laps to go. He's got himself a shot here, but here comes the 21, Jeremiah, looking with Samuel, who's been very aggressive at the back half of the field, trying to get him there to the front point.
I feel like everybody's been at the front so far here tonight, Jeremy, with only 3.5 laps to go. It's go time. You got to get to the front now. You cannot wait in this car anymore. But it's funny that I say that because it seems like you could wait all night long to try to get to the front because guys who were in the back would go all the way up to the front in just a lap. And you're starting to see that Jeremiah Nelson was all the way nearly dead last 2 laps ago, and he has pulled the Ryan Blaney from the Coke 0400 last year at Daytona. Goes to the front. Oh, he nearly loses it. He's able to save it, though. 3 laps to go, and boy, oh boy, he's looking like a Penske car out there, leading this field and able to save it off the front bumper there of the 44 of Lawson.
Jeremiah almost wrecks it as the race leader. 3 laps to go, 7.5 miles remaining, and under that now as they're on the back straightaway here for the third to final time. Contact shuffles the 44 there, Samuel Lawson out once more, shifting all over the place. 5, Bill Hagan underneath the double yellow line momentarily as they're so squirrely. Lucas Whitehead makes a huge run on the bottom here, gets shoved hard by the number 2 of Brandon Biddy. 3 wide under the double yellow contact. Still no wrecking. 33 might get flagged for that, but man, oh man, how are they not wrecking?
Yeah, that very well is going to be looked at by the officials on if it was a pass to advance your position below the double yellow line. We'll have to see what the ruling is possibly after this race. For the time being, big time pushes. Here comes the 2, Brandon Biddy, with a huge shot to the back of Lucas Whitehead. He'll jump up to the top side, and he'll think otherwise. Goes back to the bottom. The outside lane starting to get rolling just a tiny bit. That's Samuel Lawson in the 44 with help from pole sitter Braxton DeWeese up to the top side. Everybody scrambling for position coming to the white flag.
calm moment here in the field. Here's the final calm part of the storm before it rages on for the final 2.5 laps here. 1 lap to go for the Extra Life Duel number 1 at Daytona. On the front straightaway, the inside lane is led by Jeremiah Nelson.
Oh,
And, 3 wide contact once more. A lot of left-to-right motion from Brandon Biddy. Here's Samuel Lawson with some side drafting contact.
there we
Blake
go.
Chadwick and the 30 both wreck hard in the back. 2 cars involved who still stay green flag.
And they stay green flag, but boy, oh boy, what a move by the 44 of Samuel Lawson. But now he's behind the 33 of Lucas Whitehead. Can they get the top rolling enough? It looks like they might here, Jeremy, coming off turn 4, but it's all Jeremiah Nelson out front leading them off 4.
Final time off of 4, side-by-side drag race. Can Bill do this from 10th place to 1st? He will.
Oh,
Lucas
my God.
2nd. Jeremiah 3 wide. You could even call it 4 wide up the line. What an insane duel number 1.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I'll say that 10 more times if I could, but I don't want to waste anybody's time. Perfect execution by Bill Hagan and the number 5 machine. Waited till the last moment, saw the outside lane rolling, and jumped up to the top side when it counted and mattered most. And he's going to victory lane here tonight for duel number 1 of the Extra Life Duels at Daytona. What a job. And he's going to start 3rd for the big race next week here at Daytona. What a finish.
Absolutely insane. Nerd TV Replay is going to recap this right here. Moves to the top, gets the side draft. Huge slingshot here, and Lucas just muscles his way in between the 21 and the 5. Somehow edges out the 21 there of Jeremiah. And he goes from the front to the back and then to the front when it mattered the most. P2 for that 33. Jason, that was the best duel race I have ever seen. And that was just the first one.
Yeah, and that's the thing about these duel races, man. They leave you hungry and wanting more. But, well, there's not just one race tonight. There's 2. So we got a second one here coming up in just a handful of minutes. It's going to be awesome. Oh, no, you can't. Come on, dog. You can't do a burn. Oh, there he goes. He put it in reverse. He put that thing back in reverse. He's going to burn it down. He's out here looking like Trevor Bayne, nearly getting stuck after the 2011 500. Great job, though, by Bill Hagan. And Jeremy, we stayed green the whole time and had double file racing most of, if not 3/4 of this race.
Yeah, it was the best case scenario, just through and through. Fantastic job by these 12 drivers here. He still burns it down. We're going to go over a quick recap of the top, or the whole 12 cars in duel number 1 here. Bill Hagan wins the thing. Lucas Whitehead 2nd. Jeremiah Nelson in 3rd. Samuel Lawson in 4th. Natasha Bedoin earned 5th. 6th place on back is Braxton DeWeese rather. Brandon Biddy in 7th. David Mayberry 8th. Dana Ryan in 9th. Jeffrey Goodpaster in 10th, Michael Hyde in 11th, and Blake Chadwick is him in the 30. Both wrecked there on turn number 2 of the last lap. Finishes in P12.
Yeah, just a fantastic, obviously, finish here. The entire race in general, just such a great race. I love that they kept it clean. There was a lot of aggression, but that's the thing about these duels, man. Not only do you advance your position further in these duel races, but obviously this is just a giant test session. So good on these drivers for being able to stay clean, stay green, and give us one hell of a finish here tonight for duel 1.
All right, and we are looking for our race winner. See if we can talk to Mr. Bill Hagan. Waiting to see if I can grab him on Discord. I don't see him at the moment. Gonna wait on word if he's gonna be able to join in on this Discord here. We'll give it another minute or 2 before we, set sail for race number 2. But as we wait, we'll just kind of recap it again, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We had almost a consecutive 30 viewers on YouTube alone, and then we had upwards of 6 viewers on Twitch. Appreciate y'all. Facebook is really not really the best viewership experience, but we are live on Facebook nonetheless. But 6 on the Twitch, that was fantastic. Good stuff there. And I think we finally got Bill. He's sitting in the waiting channel. So fire up the Victory Fuel, Victory Lane. And we're going to talk to the man who drives the number 5 car, Bill Hagan from 10th to 1st and the most. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we got to move back down. We're going to try to move him back up here once more. Bill, you got a copy? Little technical difficulties there. Bill has twice moved back to the waiting channel after being dragged to the interview channel, so not too sure what's going on there. So victory lane for I guess nobody at the time being, but we'll give it a few more seconds here. But Jason, recap this thing. This thing is a beautiful race.
Yeah, man, what a fantastic event, obviously, here tonight. Just for the first race alone. I mean, we still got one more 30-lap duel. Again, I cannot harp on it more than I already have, but I'm going to. Great job by all these drivers to keep it clean, keep it green, fight really hard all the way to the end. Jeremy, there is a lot of times where in this duel race, these guys and gal could have easily wrecked, like flat out wrecked. If that were any other league, I think we've usually called, that would have been a wreck about probably about the 7th lap in. I mean, these guys were dooring each other, pushing each other on the right rear, the left rear, blocking each other all the way to the line. Just a fantastic race overall, and I'm sure that a lot of those guys that are going to be in that second duel here coming up, they were watching and they were taking note. And trust me, I would not be surprised if this one gets a little bit crazier, because you know what? It's like Mike Joy on Fox says every year. One of these duels is always calm, and the other one is always a hell breaks loose type race. And if it's going to be any race, it's going to be this second race because of what they just saw in that first one.
We're going to bring in race control on the fly here. He has no idea, but Steve, I know you're in here for a moment. Do we have Bill Hagan waiting for us?
No answer.
All right, I appreciate that information, sir. And I think we're gonna call it there for the first broadcast. But stay tuned. I know we dropped off on the viewership just a little bit. And we're gonna be back live for duel number 2 for 30 more laps here at Daytona International Speedway. Stay tuned. We'll be back here shortly.
Flashing lights in the dark barracks on up. Engine scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire. Chasing glory through the chaos of desire. Your TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. The digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Strap me in, fuel me with untamed speed. Data in the storm, all the rush I need. Glitches on the edge, chaos in the stream. Sim racing paradise, unraveling the sea. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Flashing lights in the dark barracks on up. Engine scream till the wild hearts succumb. Virtual roads where the asphalt sweat fire. Chasing glory through the chaos of desire. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels bursting like flames. The digital warriors, no face, just names. Science going for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels ignite the fight. Flag to flag, every moment extreme. No TV, we're living the dream. Roaring engines, pixels burst like flames. Digital warriors, no face, just names. Tires calling for the sweet finish line. Sweat soaked battles outside space and time. No TV burning in my veins tonight. Wheels spin, pixels in.
Tires screaming louder to the range. Fuel burns and the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber is rolling, the fist crunch time. Your TV lights up the endless night.
Fight to fight, we live to speed. No TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pounding, engines cry. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm.
Turn the wheel to the breakneck roll. Some racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And back once more for Nerd TV for Extra Life Dual Race number 2 live from the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing League at Daytona International Speedway, virtually on the iRacing service. Jason, we're back doing it once more here. We're going to take one more look at this weather just to see if anything's changed. And not really. Still 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 79 on the track. The wind's picked up, however, 13 mile an hour, still coming from the same northeastern direction there. Fixed setups, 2 green-white checkered attempts if we need it. Duel number 1, not existent. Did not need to use any of those. It's fantastic product. How in the world, Jason, are we going to top this? And speaking of people, Dustin Loxton also pressing the buttons, doing the cam work. If you did not join us for race number 1, now you guys know his name for this race. Jason, how are we going to do this? How are we going to top the best ever race I think we have ever seen from a duels at Daytona?
I don't know, man. I haven't really called a ton of duels. The only duels I've ever called really were back for the Northwestern series over for Click It RV with you and obviously Charles Wooten. It's been great seeing the duels the way that they've been the last handful of years that I've called them. But that was probably the biggest duel that I've ever seen. That was like a massive success. That was absolutely insane. Kept it clean and green the whole time. I will not stop harping about it. I don't care. You're going to hear about it for probably the next week or so. Well, actually, I'm not here next week, but you'll hear about it, I'm sure, again from me at some point during the year. So I'm sure, yeah, Dustin will mention it. Obviously, Dustin Loxton behind in our ears, pressing all the buttons tonight. And by the way, great job by him, Jeremy, during all that chaos, those last 10 laps or so. But yeah, to circle back around, obviously with last race being so chaotic, but a chaotic good, like chaotic awesomeness in a way. No cautions. They didn't wreck till the last lap, but even then it was only like 2 cars that wrecked, and it was all because of a push gone bad or a block gone bad or a move and so forth. You get the idea. They kept it clean all the way to the finish. And like I'd mentioned right before we went to break, Mike Joy always says it. One duel's always calm, one duel's always chaotic. Will this be the one? We're going to have to find out, because this was all the guys, and I don't mean to discredit anybody, but this duel right here is going to be all the guys who qualified in odd number positions previously for qualifying. So this duel will set the outside row. I know that Steve Harden's going to be on the pole. He's already locked in for the outside pole for next week's race. But we're going to have to see, Jeremy, what this holds for us here tonight.
Yeah, that is so true. One's chaotic, one's calm, and we had the chaotic one. So let's see how they play this race out. Here is practice over. We're gridding, so we're going to get our cameras off your screens for the second to final time here this evening, and we're going to go down the starting lineup for Extra Life Duel event number 2. And here we go. Stephen Harden going to be starting P1 here. Jonathan Hill in second place in car number 10. Row number 2, we're going to find Robert Hattenbach with Clay Sampson in P4 to his outside. Row number 3, we're going to find Dylan Picklesheimer in P6. Nick Biddy in 32. Row 4, going to be Austin Wheeler in the 48. 69 by Chris Cash. P number 9, Eddie Baker, 10th place. Austin Thompson in 45. And the final row here, Javier Zabata, the only Puerto Rican out here on the field with Tyler Curley. They're in car number 43, going to round out the 12-car lineup for duel number 2, presented by Extra Life at the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing League. And here they are rolling off for their 1 pace lap. And these guys have a very, very tall task ahead of them if they want to accomplish being more creative and more fun to watch than that first one.
Yeah, and again, Jeremy, all these guys definitely watched that first duel to see how they all did in that race. So they were paying close attention to that one, no doubt in my mind. Will they be more chaotic than that last one? Because, again, that last race was a chaotic good, but I'd still call it the calmer one. Will this one be the calmer one? Will it be the more chaotic one? Will we see yellows? We did not see one yellow flag, no pit stops, no nothing. Again, these guys can go all the way to the finish like we saw just one race ago. But will this one play any difference? You know, obviously you have Steve Harden on the pole. He is going to be on the outside for the front row of next week, locked in on that front row. So it should be a good time. Who is going to go with who? Who is going to, push the most? Who is going to pass the most? We're going to have to find out and see. It should be really, really interesting. But I'm gonna be biased here. I'm gonna go already. I just joked about him during pre-race. I'm gonna go with Dylan Picklesheimer and that number 12 machine. He's got my favorite driver's paint scheme that I saw win in person on that car. He's gonna be called Dill Pickle, dubbed for the rest of the season. So Dill Pickle, my pick to win here for duel number 2 tonight, starting 5th in that number 12 body armor camo machine.
Jason Settley, I don't think he even meant to drop the D&D reference. Chaotic Good was the first race. And here we go. Pace car down and green flag out for the second time. First time in this duel number 2 presented by Extra Life here at the Daytona International Speedway on the iRacing service. And here we go. Cars are wearing gear number 3, gear number 4. And if they're utilizing the 5th gear, then here we go. As we're through the gears all the way here. Turn number 1, turn number 2. It looks like 2 cars going to be single filed on the bottom to start until we get the corner exit here. And it looks like teammates on the top leading the first couple here. Equal numbers still down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and Jonathan Hill leading that inside lane in that number 10 Snap-on Tools Chevy Camaro with those new bodies. We mentioned it before the beginning of the race. In duel number 1, these Chevrolets have that new body on the front bumper in particular. How will it affect them in the draft? It didn't really affect them much, it seemed like, because they were still pushing the heck out of one another last time around. And speaking of that, here comes another Chevy all the way up to the front. Clay Sampson in that number 87. Shades of Joe Nemechek back when he drove for Front Row Motorsports in that 87 Fonted machine. All the way up to the front. Got help from Nick Biddy behind him. They'll lead the charge off the 2.
Yeah, good launch here off turn number 2 to start off lap number 2 here. The start here just a little more calm than what it was in race number 1. 2 cars now, 3, potentially even 4, going to be single file into turn 3 here, and they do go top 4. Single file is the 27 as Stephen Harden, your pole sitter, does clear. Now here's the 3 as well, Robert Hottenbach. He's also going to clear, going to take the 69 Christopher Cash to the inside, top 6. Now all single file as we go boozy tipsy Cam through the front stretch on lap number 3.
And here comes that 45, Austin Thompson. He's got help from Dill Pickle and that 12 machine all the way up at the top of the racetrack. Believe it's only those 2 currently. We'll see here if Dustin can just tip that cam a little bit. No pun intended there. And it looks like it's just the 2 of them. So those 2, despite only having a 2-car tango, they're making a little bit of headway up towards the front. They've gotten to that second car up, and I stand corrected. They got at least another car right on back. That would be the number 27. Or rather, not the 27, it's the number 3 of Robert Hattenbach, or Hattenbach. I'm sure I butchered that name, but he's pushing there on the outside lane. Bottom side so far, Jeremy, the one that's dominant. But again, we're only 2 laps completed this time by at the line. That outside lane worked its way back up to the front in duel 1 around this time. So we'll have to wait and find out and see here with 27 to go.
27 to go here. Single file, majority of the inside there. Top 3 still trying to roar with the 45. Austin Thompson started from 10th already, trying to crack the top 3 for the first time tonight on lap number 4. He's got great help from the body armor number 12 there. Dylan Picklesheimer in the red and green car, second in line on the top. As he gets side draft a little bit from the 32 second place, Nick Biddy, as he's got the 87 of Clay Thompson, still leading it from 4th to 1st early, and he has not looked back. As they go 2 cars single file to 10, Jonathan Hill is going to temporarily fall back to 4th, but going to hold 3rd place as they get to turn number 1.
And that 87, Clay Sampson still leading the charge. Got Nick Biddy right back behind him. Those two doing a great job for the time being, up at the front of this field, leading the charge on the bottom side. Outside's only got four cars for the time being. Jeremy, I'm noticing this duel in particular, these lanes, they seem to be a lot more squirrely early on here so far in this duel race. And not to mention the fact, too, they got a driver who's already off the pace. That's Javier Zapata from Puerto Rico in that 22 machine, nowhere in the lead draft. So we went from 12 cars in lead draft 1 race ago to just 11. So that might have a big impact here with the way these cars draft here with just 25 laps to go.
Yeah, the 87-32 still on the bottom. The 45, however, creeping up a little closer. Austin Thompson momentarily in 2nd place. Going to get a nice little launch here and maybe can get a nose over the 87 of Clay Sampson here halfway down the back straightaway. It is a complete drag race for these 4 cars. And it's been 3 for a little bit now. Number 4 is Robert, 3rd in line on the top. Trying everything he can, but 87's got the momentum still.
Inside lane's just not hooked up that well, Jeremy. Those 2 cars out front are the only thing that's keeping this bottom lane intact and ahead of that outside lane. And even though the outside lane, they're not formed up entirely 100% as well, but I think that the way that they're pushing, I think that Dill Pickle's pushing that 45 of Austin Thompson a lot better than probably most drivers would. So I expect them to fully be up and against the 87 and 32 here within the next few laps. And as I say that, the 12 of Pickle goes down to the bottom, or rather goes to the top now, and he'll lead the outside charge, try to find some way up to the front, but he's only got 2 trucks, or rather 3 cars now behind him. Now make it 5. Now we'll have a race possibly as they charge off 4.
Yeah, Picklesheimer actually had a overheating situation. He had to back it down, and it completely disrupted the outside momentum. So now they had to regroup, put the 12 up front. Now they swapped the 45, is now right back behind them. And so now they're going to try it in reverse and see if the 12 can do this, as Dylan going to have the 45 of Austin with Robert Hottenbach behind them. And then lastly, that car number 43, Tyler Curley, who started dead last here, is going to try to get himself into the top 5 for the first time, as he's got a decent head of steam ahead of him down the back straightaway.
And if this was real life, I'd be cheering up and down right now, because that 12 machine is up at the front of that field. Love seeing that Body Armor camo car back out front just like it should be. Side by side with the 87 of Clay Sampson. 32 of Nick Biddy, though, going to give him a nice little push here coming off turn number 4. And the 45 machine of Thompson trying to get to the 12's back bumper, just finally doing it, almost out of the trial. Well, now he does. Jeremy, both lanes looking pretty good right now, but now this outside surging ahead. The 45 hanging on the right rear. The 12 nearly put him a little bit up the racetrack, but there, oh boy, this is getting dicey up at the front. Be careful. Austin Thompson giving major pushes to that right rear of Dylan Picklesheimer, and he'll go to the bottom now for the lead.
There we go. There's a little bit of shift in the outside, had the momentum. They had lane choice, and they fully utilized it to their advantage there. Dylan somehow gets to the bottom. I thought he was going to get taken over by the 45 of Austin, but he lets him down. The 43, Tyler Curry, going from last to 3rd within the first 9 laps of this 30-lap event. Duel number 2 at Daytona, presented by Extra Life. And here he goes to the top with the 43. They're going to leave Dylan by himself just for a second as the 87. Sampson's going to pick him up here, then all by themselves. The 43 is going to have a nice little drop through the field. Oh, he sneaks in somehow through the 87.
Oh, and that 12 machine thought about blocking the 43 machine. By the way, that Ghost Energy machine, by far, I love that 12 as always, but that 43 Ghost Energy car, I love me some Ghost Energy, man. That car is mean looking. I would love to see Legacy Motor Club drive that paint scheme at some point in real life. But man, that's a badass looking car. I want to take a look real quick here. If we could look at the Boozy Jerky Tipsy cam, look at the front bumper of that 45 of Austin Thompson. That thing is really caved in. And Jeremy, you got to wonder if possibly that car could be overheating for the time being. That 45 machine really pushed in out of all the cars here that have been pushing so far here tonight. Look at how caved in that 45. Looks like he just got out of the clash at Bowman Gray just last night after all that sleet that they had.
Yeah, what a race that was. But the 45, thankfully, they're in the Gen 7s. There is a lot of gap between the front bumper of these cars and the radiator, more so than ever. So they should be just fine on the heating, but we'll keep an eye on that as the 12 of Dylan gets a great run and then drops right to the bottom. Is going to bring Robert with them. So the 12 and the 3 back to the point. They're going to leave the 84 solo on the top. He sneaks in right in front of the 87. So just like that, we're going to have the 84 back to P4. And for the first time, the entire pack, single files, are back to boozy, tipsy, camera flying.
And that 12 machine blocking like Blaney out there all the way to the bottom and brought Robert Hottenbach all with him. And back behind him, we got that outside lane forming up. Once again, here comes the 84 of Eddie Baker. Brings along Clay Sampson as well with Nick Biddy. Really rolling the top this time. Now the 12 goes to block the top lane. Will they stall out? They do a little bit, but the 84 will give a bump to the 12. But here's where things are going to get dicey. They're approaching the lap car of Javier Zapata up on the outside. Everybody will run behind his draft. Now go to the bottom. Big time move by the 12. And everybody will easily get by this 22 Valvoline throwback to Mark Martin machine. And here comes the 84 of Eddie Baker. Big run to the outside. Big shot coming from Hottenbach to the back bumper of the 12. Everybody getting a little dicey here as they fly down the Daytona super stretch.
2 cars on the top, everybody else single file on the bottom here. Lap 13 about to be complete as we're getting real close to the halfway mark of duel number 2 presented by Extra Life here. The 84 really checks up the 87 on the top side. Man, that's going to bring those cars back to the back. Clay Sampson and Eddie Baker are going to go from mid-pack to almost last. Let's see if they can get any steam built up. They got plenty of time based on the notes of race number 1, so no worries there. They're going to fall in line. The 22 has picked up the draft, not for position. He is 1 lap down, so no race there. But back to the front, we got 3 cars jumping to the top. They're going to try to swap. Now here comes 4, potentially 5.
Yeah, Robert Hottenbach dropped out of line, or rather dropped up in line above the 12 machine, took the lead and took 3 other cars with him. Now off turn number 4, big head of steam coming for the 12th car. He'll move to the outside lane off turn 4. Will he have help behind him? He's got the 84 machine, Eddie Baker, but about 2 or 3 car lengths back. That outside's just not formed up enough. If the 12 wants any shot, he's going to have to start side drafting that inside, but for the time being, he's going right to the front bumper of the 84, who thought about, I think, ditching him right there, but he'll pick him up, and now they'll have to work all the way back out to the front here as they fly off turn 2.
As we're just a quick reminder that we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Facebook, not so much the place to be, but we got 19 on the YouTube side and only just a couple on the Twitch. So if you want to like, follow, and subscribe all 3 of our pages, we're going to bring it live, all 3 platforms, every single week for the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Series for 2026. So go ahead and do that. Share some viewers on the Twitch side especially. We're going to need some help on that end as we got halfway down, halfway to go. The field is going back to the front, all over the place here, and we got a little bit of calmness momentarily up at the front, and then back to single file for the most part here. And I appreciate y'all joining in on the chats again, joining us for race number 2. A lot of fun chit-chatting going on here tonight. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, this might be one of the most active chats I've seen for a league we've called. Everybody has been really invested in the race tonight, and especially in duel number 1. Duel 2 kind of a little bit calmer, but still great crowd. Thank you, everybody, for obviously tuning out here on Nerd TV. Got some great racing here. 15, now make it 14 laps to go. Robert Hottenbach still leading in that Chevrolet machine, but he's got a Toyota and a Ford. Manufacturer battle back behind them. They've pulled out to about a car length and a half gap over that number 10 of Jonathan Hill. But look no further. Here comes Dill Pickle in that number 12 machine, looking to get back towards the front, right where he belongs, just like he thought. A handful of laps to go. He's all the way up there. Now got other guys trying to move up to the top side. That's the 32 of Nick Biddy. He'll get pushed by the 12. Help from the 87 on back. Side by side for the lead. Give it to Nick Biddy now into turn 3.
Side by side, strength in numbers is about 50-50 at the moment, but the top half of the field, it's a little more tightly packed on the outside, and this is what's going to propel the 32, Nick Biddy, to lead this lap. I do believe the first lap. He's going to try to cut in front of Robert.
Oh.
Clips his nose, able to keep it going without a spin out. That was super close. Robert barely blipped the throttle, thankfully so. It allowed him to drop to the inside. No harm, no foul. Lap number 18 on the way. The 12, here comes Picklesheimer's going to try to clear the 32. He's got a lot of help from the 87. See if he can't do it down the back straightaway here. Clay Sampson trying everything he can for 12.
87 really trying to push that 12. And remember, that's a new Chevrolet body on the front of that 87 machine. Looks like it could be really affecting the way he pushes. But as I say that, look at the momentum they get off turn number 4. Just the two of them. In fact, they go 2-car tango all the way to the front, looking like the 2011 COT package at Daytona and Talladega there, and put the 12 car back out front with Clay Sampson and Nick Biddy right behind him as they go into turn number 1.
Single file, the whole field here. Lap number 19 on the inside lane. Going to come off corner exit, turn 2, back straightaway time. Who's going to move out? The 45 is going to jump out. Austin Thompson trying to do it again. Here comes the 43, Tyler Curry as well. Does the 32 want to slide up? He thought about it. Still has a chance. Not going to do it this time. The 43, Tyler's going to slip back a little bit. No side draft help. No help from the rear. And he's going to lose a couple spots. And now here comes the 3 of Robert. He's going to try to side draft the 32. Not going to work for him.
Yeah, definitely not going to work for him at all. Probably going to go a little bit back behind a few cars. He'll get picked up now by the 43 machine of Tyler Curley there. And now they're going to have to work that outside lane in a big way. Help with the 45 of Austin Thompson back behind them. But I don't think they're really that much in trouble. We've seen tons of guys, as I say that. Now the 84 machine of Baker goes up to the top side. Jeremy, this is looking like it's shaping up to be just like duel number 1 here for the end, if they could just keep it clean.
Yeah, it's still pretty eventful. Not as good as race number 1. That was a tough one to compete with, but outside of that, it's still been a fantastic race here. Here comes the 84. Finally finds momentum back to mid-pack. He's going to bring the 69 with him here. We got 3 cars, maybe even 4 if the 45 can catch back up here. And there goes the 3 of Robert. He's going to jump to the top. So it's almost a 50-50 split all of a sudden here to start off lap number 21. 10 laps remaining.
And with 10 laps to go, you know these guys are itching to get to that race lead and take away the top spot from Dylan Picklesheimer there and Clay Sampson, Nick Biddy, who have worked together all night long. They look to be the 2 duo to beat, and Dylan Picklesheimer trying to hold them all at bay here, coming off turn number 4 to see the 9 laps to go signal from Barney the flagman. He'll put 9 fingers up in the air virtually, and everybody on back fighting tooth and nail for position. Not only trying to advance their position further for the start of next week's race on Thursday, but also trying to get some experience here at the World Center of Racing as they fly down into turns 1 and 2.
Jonathan Hill, car number 10, leading the outside for the first time tonight inside the top 5. He's going to try to bring several with him here. 50-50 split down the back straightaway here. Mr. Picklesheimer leading the bottom. Jonathan Hill on the top. He gets to P3. He's trying to clear P2. Cannot do it this time. A lot of help. Tight pushing here on the outside. Everything they can do, but it looks like the inside with Dylan still going to be the preferred route as the number 12 is going to lead in complete lap number 22.
I love watching these dual races. The last hour we've been calling this makes me want to get back on iRacing and renew my subscription and get into a cup car and go run at Daytona, man. Always love driving these things at Daytona, no matter what it is. It's Daytona, baby. You don't care what you drive. You could drive a tractor around here. You'll still have a good time. It don't matter. These guys are flying here at Daytona. Let's ride on board here with one of these cars just to see how fast they are in the draft if we can. Man, these guys are just pushing the hell out of one another. Here comes the outside lane. That's the 10 of Jonathan Hill. And you ride on board the side of the 43, Tyler Curley, going over 195. Nope, 194. That was about max that we hit. Nope, now we're going to hit 95. So nearly 200 miles an hour from the World Center Racing. And man, oh man, Jeremy, all it takes is one bad push, wrong place, wrong time, and all hell could break loose here. 7 laps to go. What will we see? Dylan Picklesheimer still out front.
A great view here from the right front fender portion of the 43, looking right at the 10. Jonathan Hill almost making door contact halfway down the back straightaway here. 6.5 laps remaining. There goes the race leader switching to the outside lane, going to take himself with the 32 of Nick Biddy, and the 32 is going to drop to the bottom. He says, thank you, Dylan, but I'm going to switch a route. Going to go back to the 87 who I worked with in the beginning portion of this race, and it's going to bring those tan and red cars together. But the 10 of Jonathan Hill, really close, has lane choice over the 12.
Oh!
And tight squeeze. He's going to try to follow the 12, moves back down.
Ooh.
Jonathan now has a chance to finally do the lap.
Yeah, I was about to say, Jeremy, he really left that top lane open, and then I thought the 10 was going to try to cross him over or just duck out to the outside a little more. That was not the case, and he elected to stay right behind him. The 12 just cut right in front of that 32 machine. Here we go, 3 wide. Haven't seen much of this tonight compared to the race we saw one race to go, but I guess that's because it started all around under 10 laps to go. 43 tries to duck out of line. He won't go anywhere. Now the 10 leading the outside charge, the 87 of Clay Sampson, thought about it for a minute, and he thinks right. Now he goes back to the inside, indecisive, thinking what to do. He'll go to the outside, leave his dancing partner. The 12 blocks him all the way up to the wall nearly. Man, Dylan Picklesheimer has been blocking the heck out of everybody all night long, and you got to think, Jeremy, one bad block is going to cause this whole field to come apart.
Yeah, and that's coming from the race lead, so it could drastically just destroy the field in a hurry here. What a block, but it's able to work for him right now. Still leading the way inside, outside, utilizing the draft to his advantage, doing it very nicely so far here. Under 5 laps to go, the 32 has a great chance to maybe take some side draft and lead this lap. Does Nick go to the top, or does he stay to the bottom with Dylan? It looks like he's going to stay 27. Mr. Stephen Harden, your pole sitter, 3rd place. Does he stay as well? Looks like he's going to. 4 laps to go.
And we haven't talked about Steve Harden all night long since the start of this race. He was pretty much in the back half of this pack. I don't think we've talked about him at all since the start, Jeremy. Now he finds himself back there. Oh, car on the wall. That's the 43, Tyler Curley. He's able to save it. Everybody gets wounded down to speed, and they're going to be able to keep on digging and keep on chugging along. Eddie Baker in the 84. He'll lead the top side charge with help from the 87 of Clay Sampson, but it's all Dylan Picklesheimer out front. 3 laps to go this time as they work their way all 4.
7.5 miles remaining here at Daytona for the final race of this evening for the Smoky Mountain Sim Racing Dual Race number 2, presented by Extra Life. Side by side, here comes the 84, looking to take the lead from the number 12 of Dylan. Can Eddie Baker do just that? He's got great help with the 87 right behind him. Clay Sampson, great shoving off the corner. It is a 2-car tango on the inside and outside.
And they've been pushing harder than they have all night long. Eddie Baker surges out to the front. He's got help from Clay Sampson, who's thinking about ditching him. I can just smell it. I can see it. Oh, wow, what a save by the 84 of Eddie Baker. Got shoved so hard, it nearly sucked him around, but he was able to keep it straight, and they keep on chugging along. 2 laps to go, and it's only a matter of time before this field possibly falls apart. Oh, and they almost wreck right there again.
No!
Oh, there they go! Oh, no,
No, they don't.
It. Oh, my goodness.
45. How did you do that, Austin Thompson? Oh, my. I thought he was toast, and then he saved it. It's going to break up the field momentarily. There could have been several wrecks that happened on the front straightaway. They avoided 1.5 laps remaining, and the 84 solely has possession of the race lead. Eddie Baker is going to bring the 87 of Clay Thompson. Dylan looking to have a draft partner. Here comes the 69. Christopher Cash gives him a great shove off corner exit. Does not disrupt the 12. 6 cars at the top now. White flag, 1 to go.
White flag is out. 1 lap to go here from Daytona in duel number 2. And Dylan Picklesheimer has found the rear bumper of Nick Biddy. He's going to push him to the front. Here comes Chris Cash. Oh, the 82 out of line. He's sideways. They're going to wreck.
No.
And it's going to be Dylan Picklesheimer coming out on the better end of this half of the wreck. He's got Chris Cash behind him. It's going to be a 2-horse race all the way to the checkered flag. Dylan Picklesheimer trying to break the draft. But can Chris Cash catch him with Dylan Picklesheimer going side by side, bobbing and weaving? Jeremy, he's going to be there. Chris Cash has a shot off 4.
He's going to have the side draft here. He's going to utilize it, at least try to. No, the bubble is keeping him from passing the 12. And Dylan Picklesheimer is going to win duel number 2 with a very chaotic crash here on the final lap of this event. Oh, my Lanta, man, that was a hell of a finish. Big crash. Multiple heavy incidences on the outside wall. We're going back to the Nerd TV replay to take a look at the chaos. There's a 32, which ultimately washes up into the field from the contact on corner entry, and everybody slams the wall.
Yeah, you had to think something was going to happen at some point, and obviously it was the 32. Let's take a look here at the Nerd TV rewind, winding it back like a blockbuster VCR tape. And all the way back, you see coming down the 12. The 12 had the run. The 32 just unfortunately was coming down. And honestly, you can't really blame the 12. You can't blame the 32. It was just one of those deals that if you really think about it, Jeremy, it gives me big time flashback to last year's, or rather 2 years ago at the Coke 0400. Michael McDowell tried to come down and follow with the cars behind him that were trying to push, but he just ended up blocking a little too late. Even though it wasn't a block, was just trying to get in front, ended up turning himself around, getting up in the air, nearly got into the catch fence. And now the 32, nearly the same thing. The 12 moves to the bottom, just a little bit too big of a run. And when the 32 started to move down, unfortunately, they just came together right there. I mean, you call it as you want, Jeremy, but honestly, I don't really see no harm, no foul. That's just a product of how these super speedway races can be, and both those drivers going for the same piece of real estate.
Race director Steve Rada has a lot of work in front of him here to figure out that huge wreck, as we're going to be talking momentarily to the 12 of Picklesheimer. But first, we're going to recap and go over the unofficial results here for duel number 2 presented by Extra Life. And here we go. Dylan Picklesheimer, P1. Christopher Cash, 2nd. Austin Wheeler in 3rd. Jonathan Hill, 4th. Austin Thompson in 5th. Eddie Baker, P6. Robert Hottenbach in 7th. Stephen Harden, 8th. Nick Biddy, 9th. Clay Sampson, 10th. Tyler Curley, P11. And Javier Zabata in the 22 clears out the 12-car field here this evening. And then we got one and actually a second driver to interview. Bill Hagan, I heard, has his mic live, but we're going to bring in this guy, number 12, first, as we're going to go Victory Field, Victory Lane. And we're going to see if we can talk to him here in just a quick second. See if we get him here on the Discord. And if we don't, we're going to see. We don't have him just yet. I heard he was in, but then he's not. So you know what? Dustin, keep it on the 12. But we're going to talk to the number 5 from duel number 1. Mr. Bill Hagan, I heard you got your microphone working. Is that correct?
That's it, man. I'm ready to go here.
Bill Hagan, winner of duel number 1. Man, what a fantastic job from 10th to 1st. Super chaotic race, all 30 laps. Way to start the season, man.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I'm just really impressed that all 12 cars finished that race, which is a testament to the kind of talent that this league has right now. So I'm just super happy to have come out on top. I mean, only led 1 lap, but I guess it's the one that counts, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's better late than never, Bill. And congratulations on winning that first duel, man. It doesn't matter if you lead that last lap. It's as long as you lead that last lap, that's the most important thing. But obviously, talk to us a little bit about coming off turn 4. You timed it absolutely perfect there. What was going through your mind when you made that move? Because that back half or that front pack, that outside lane was coming in a hurry. We thought they were going to push you. They never even got to your back bumper. They could have easily put you in the sucker hole, man. What was going through your head there off 4?
Yeah, that was kind of a really interesting night because as the night started, that outside line was just cooking and the inside line was just dead. And then it kind of switched about midway through the race where the inside line was working, and I just was trying to stay down there. But I was riding behind who was it? It was David Mayberry for a lot of the race, just kind of coasting back there, and then I got there with Lucas. Almost got turned with about 3 or 4 to go, and I got pushed back. I don't know, maybe 7th or 8th again, and then somehow everybody just kind of the seas parted for me, and I was just running right behind. I believe it was Lucas, maybe at the end, and or maybe what? I don't think it was Lucas. I think it was David Mayberry, and then the bunch of guys moved up to the top, but they kind of stalled out, and there was a hole there. And I said, well, I'm going to try to take it coming out of 4, and see if it sticks, and it did. So I was just as shocked as everybody else, I think.
Yeah, man, that was fantastic stuff, and yeah, we had no idea of how that thing was going to go, and it was just a blast of a race to call. Congratulations, dude! Way to start off the season. Any
Appreciate it.
shout outs you want to give out before we let you go?
Yeah, no, it was just I want to first of all just give a shout out to the whole Smoky Mountain sim racing team. The guys that have put this whole thing together have just done an excellent job preparing for the season, and I'm just thankful for that. And ran with a bunch of guys tonight, and everybody ran real clean, which was really impressive. So just happy about that, and ready to get the season started.
100%, man. Well, enjoy the rest of your night. We'll catch you next week to start off the whole season.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And that was Bill Hagan. Appreciate him for joining, sticking around there for his post-race interview. And now we have Dylan Picklesheimer, driver the number 12. He is also waiting in the channel, so we're going to bring him in. Dylan, congratulations on winning dual race number 2.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I definitely didn't want to probably wreck the field like I did. I'm not really sure if that was entirely on me, but it was the last laps. I was trying to shoot to the bottom and probably wasn't lifting. I had that car on my tail too. I don't think he was lifting either, so hate to win it like that, but we'll take it.
Yeah, there was a lot of movement throughout the whole field anyways, and so there's a lot of recapping to do, I'm sure, with the admins. But you had some good moves, man. You were putting on some decent blocks. I was able to keep it clean. You were able to go from back to the front, back again, back to the front. To me, I didn't expect so much excitement out of these Gen 7 cars, but how was it driving it out there tonight?
I think this is the first time I've ran the next gen since the update a couple days ago, and it was pretty loose at the beginning. I was telling my teammate in the Discord with me that it was just kind of loose, and once I got the hang of it, it wasn't too bad. But it was a good time. The top is really where you wanted to be. Like if you had a couple guys up there that could push, you were sitting pretty. So I just had a couple guys go with me and was able to side draft all 4. If you could side draft all 4 pretty good, you could get a little run. So that's what I did, and seems like it worked out.
And Dill Pickle, man, congratulations. Bringing that 12 car to victory lane, man, just where it deserves to be, like it did back in the summertime, obviously. Big Blaney guy here, so I always love seeing the 12 car in victory lane, man. Doing it for Dale and Blaine Dog, as it says in your bio, man. You looked really strong out there. Obviously, you managed both lanes a lot, very, very well tonight. You don't really see that a lot on the sim. In real life, you do a lot, but the sim, especially, the sim usually, a lot of guys try to not block. It usually is like a no-no, bad juju. You don't want to block because a lot of guys will usually just run into the back of you, man. But talk about what was your confidence like blocking both lanes at once? Because, man, if there was anybody out there who was cutting it up, it was you tonight, man.
Yeah, I was telling my teammate in Discord that I don't know these guys. I'm brand new to the league, so I was just going to try not to do any crazy blocks. But I felt like the blocks that I did do were pretty – there was a big gap between us before they kind of got to us, so it kind of worked out. I don't think I did anything too bad. But, yeah, I was just I love super speedway racing, obviously. One of my favorite things on the sim. Just got a knack for it, I guess. I don't know, but – looking forward to the actual race next week with my buddy Jeremiah Nelson. I think we'll we'll be pretty good together.
21 and the 12 are going to be working next week as they going to start off race number 1 of the regular season. But man, Dylan, congratulations. Awesome way to get this thing started for us. Any final shout outs before we let you go to here tonight?
I want to shout out you guys. I'm excited to go back and watch this, man. It should be a good time. And shout out the league owners. Shout out to my boy Jeremiah Nelson. And got to shout out my wife. Love you, babe.
There you are, man. Dylan, P1 here tonight. We'll catch you next week, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
You too. All right, Jason, there we go. We got both winners in. Thankfully, Bill was able to stick around and get a post-race interview, and that's it. That's a wrap. Night number 1 on a Thursday evening here for us 3. Finished. Recap it. What's going on?
Man, dude, I'm gonna need a beer. I'm gonna need a beer after this one right now. I got the Bud hat on. I'm gonna need a Bud. That was pretty entertaining, man. You don't really see a lot of dual races like that anymore. Not only just on the sim for an iRacing Daytona 500, but also just any league, any real life. You don't see the racing that we saw here tonight. I feel really hopeful for this Gen 7 car. I know a lot of people complained about it ever since its inception in 2022 when it was brought in real life and also to the service. I think that the aero packages that NASCAR is bringing along with iRacing, updating them to the standards, it's been improving. A lot of these races used to be single file or big time big boy wrecks. And nowadays, like just from seeing that for the first time after not calling a super speedway Gen 7 race in damn near 2 years, man, these things really haul the mail around here at Daytona. And you can make moves, bro. Like, you can make moves. It was crazy to see here tonight. We saw one race that was an absolute barn burner, and the second one said, hold my Bud. I'm going to go out and do the same exact damn thing, because that's exactly what they did here tonight. Shout out to all the drivers, man. Every single one of them raced aggressive, but had that good driver etiquette. They were lenient with each other, but they didn't wreck until the last lap for both races. The first one, 2 guys, last one, big wreck, whatever. It's super speedway racing. It happens. Boy, oh boy, man, I wish I was going to be here next week for it, because I tell you what, you and Dustin are in for one hell of a show next week here for their season opener.
Yeah, super excited to do that, man. Makes me want to fire up a paint ski for this thing for the Daytona 500 that iRacing's hosting this month, but we'll see about that, depending on schedule. But Dustin, appreciate you behind the scenes doing everything there. Fantastic work with the cameras, the graphics. Didn't see any hiccups. So great stuff there, Jason. Thank you for broadcasting with me 2 nights a week, at least momentarily, until we lose you for a little bit on the Tuesday side. But dude, appreciate y'all for joining in. We had a decent amount of viewership on Twitch. YouTube always the dominant one. We had up to 36 viewers at one time on Duel number 1. So impressive stuff. So, but you guys, until then, we're live 2 nights a week, both 9 p.m. Eastern, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Catch it by subscribing, liking, all that stuff on our 3 platforms. Have a good night, y'all. Stay safe. Get your nerd on. We'll see you Tuesday.
Touchscreen and louder to the range. Fuel burns and the glow of the pixel plays. The rubber is rolling, the fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night.
Fight to fight, we live for speed. Our TV feeds our endless need. Heartbeats pound and engines climb. Best broadcast under the virtual sky. Turn the wheel, feel the breakneck roll. Sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm.
Turn the wheel through the breakneck roll. Sun rays tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm.